Big up Blues fans, torturer of being a Chelsea fan, watching us play, drawing again to a relegation threatened side. Can it get any worse? Let's find out. Big up, people. Sorry again. Okay, it's my fault about being late. Yeah, I apologize because just as I was trying to get out the door at work, £300 went out the door. So literally, I had to deal with that. So sorry about me being late, everybody. That was my fault. Always late. Oh, says DJ Craig. Big up. Football Bants, Eid Mubarak, brother. If it's not tonight, it'll probably be tomorrow. Passing through to drop a like and support the channel. Thank you, my bro. Hope all is well. Keeping it real, Chelsea. I don't know who that twat is, but man, if I ever find out who he is, man, I'm gonna go and kill him. I'll pin in the fool. It's cool. I'm just getting home, chilling with the pups, which I found out in a euphemism for motor tits in Scott. Wait, hang on. Chilling with the pups, which I found out is a euphemism for motorboating tits in Scotland.
I love Scotland.
Oh, okay, what's Rosie told you? Sounds like something Jerry the King Lawler would say. Puppy. Okay, that explains that comment. Big up, Dimes. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're doing good. Not motorboating. You added the motorboating. It's just the tits. Oh, moting tits. Okay. Okay. What are you lot talking about? Motorboating tit. Latimus dropping these comments in. I like that. You can drop comments in the chat, but you can't contribute on the panel. Like, come on.
It's all good.
I'm joking. Big up all. Hope you're all well. Now, JPT, how are you? Missed you on the watch along, man. You would have made it more entertaining. Like, it was just that was just painful to watch, bro. I'm
just glad I got to do like a mini bachelor party before my wedding this weekend, and then got to go to my nephew's birthday this weekend. So
wait, is your wedding this weekend?
No. It's next month, but it's the only time I have free. So yeah, it was fun. But yeah, so I got that to distract me.
See, look at him looking gangster. Wait, look at him looking gangster, bro. Look at him, right?
Mongoose.
You get me, man? Notorious. Like, we got Cold Palmer, then we got Cold Notorious right here. Like, look at him. I'm like, wow, man. So sorry, JP, you were saying something, but like the entrance, the way he kind of faded out of the Potch flag as well. Like, that was just like, Mr. Life in no gangster's paradise. You know what I mean? Like, that guy. We should give this guy an intro, bruv. So why are we so blind to see? Sorry. You JPT, you were saying. My bad.
I mean, for one, like I told some friends like over the bachelor, I was like, I have a bad feeling about Sunday, and I once I saw the lineup a little bit, I was like, Palmer on the wing.
Yeah.
Okay. Gusto not in the lineup. Dude, I think he was ill. I don't know what type of bug is going around Chelsea, but it seems like like back to back.
It's a bug called the medical team.
It's a Spursy bug with this manager.
In it.
And yeah, lo and behold, man, it's crazy. Like I kind of knew. I was just like, it would be so Chelsea that we can go and what we did against Man U, but then we just completely do something. We fumbled it the way we did versus Sheffield United. 0-16 when it comes to their game. The last, I think, 7 games or 5 games. We give them their first point and their first 2 goals.
Oh, what a back pass! Can I just say something? You said about Man United. What a back pass from Cancelo, bro. That was a beautiful way to let him into it. Because it's funny, we haven't spoken about that Man United game, right? And I'll tell you what, right? I won't mind going back to that, right? As much as everyone says we were brilliant to win that game 4-3.
What?
How dare you throw away a 2-0 lead to Man United at home? Eskimo Prime. That's a good one. I like that. Instead of Eskimo, he's rolling right Inuit.
I don't think DJ Crane knows what Eskimo stands for. Don't look at him.
I know
Well,
what Eskimo brother is, but I don't know what Eskimo means anywhere else.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
well, in that hood,
God.
wait, in the hood that means motoring tits.
After this, if anyone doesn't already, look up Eskimo brothers. That'll be a funny Google search.
Yeah, it just yeah. So yeah, on the Man United game, right? I have to say, just quickly, and I'll ask both of you about this. The first 20 minutes were great because like we flattened them. We absolutely flattened them. Like we killed them, and like what? Then Q the 36th minute and the 39th minute we conceded, right? So that 5 minutes.
39th.
That 5 minutes. So we just went, here you go, here's our net, score twice.
Caicedo with the assist.
Bro,
it's always a gift. Why is it always a gift?
Bro,
to the
I'm telling you, bro. Our defenders right now are Ronaldinho-esque passes because they're not looking, but they're passing it straight to them. You know, it's Ronaldinho-esque, bro. Ronaldinho. I think what Pops means motorboat tits and Eskimo means motorboat ass cheeks. Okay, whatever ship that is, I want to sail on that one.
Speaking of ass cheeks, go back to Chelsea, please.
Yeah.
Speaking of ass
we
cheeks,
unwiped ass cheeks. You know why? Because we're muddied. We are disgustingly. We can't play good defense in such. When's the last time we had a clean sheet? October.
The last time I washed mine. Jesus Christ. That's I'm not being funny. One thing about it is, and this is one thing I'm beginning to think was a mistake. Letting guys like Aspilicueta and them lot go was too soon. It was too soon. It was too soon. Looking back on it, like you know, if we had Aspie and Reece James with Gusto, maybe like trying to work his way in slowly. I can't believe it, man. It's the way this season's gone. Like it's like the manager. Like you look at the owners. You guys couldn't have got it more wrong, could you? Like, but back to the United game. We had 20 minutes, right? Of we absolutely killed them. Now the Caicedo back pass was part of it, but the second half, we couldn't do nothing. Literally, we couldn't do absolutely nothing. Couldn't put passes together, and it's like we continued that in the Sheffield United game. It's just this time we didn't get a penalty, and the only time we did put passes together, we scored 2 goals. Right? There's just what's the plan with this guy anymore? What's the plan? Like, what's the plan on the pitch? What's the plan on in the board? What's the plan for the future of the club? Like, can anyone tell me that, or at least give me an inkling?
Go ahead.
Intuition.
I don't know.
JPT? I don't know either. JPT, have you got any clues?
For what?
What the hell they're doing at Chelsea, bro? The board. Like, what are the board doing? What's the plan?
It's well, the one thing they're doing is getting everything wrong. that's easy. That's easy. Really pointed out. Man, like it's the only thing that they're gonna try to focus on is just profit. And Reece James is gonna be out the door soon. Before you know it, Gallagher as well is another one. Anyone that could be considered like, okay, you came from Cobham, you should know what the culture is. You have in Palmer, you know, one of the few players in the team that have multi-year EPL experience. It's gonna be gone. Trevo gone. Roger's gonna be gone. Anyone that we're just gonna keep looking at 18, 17, 19-year-olds, man. It's not gonna change. I brought it up to you before in the stream weeks back, that I think that our players we bought from the last window or two are gonna be our oldest players because we're gonna keep going for people at 17, 18, 19, like how when they came into Chelsea. And we're just gonna keep doing that. We're already supposedly connected to the Sporting Lisbon center back what was his name? The Monday. And how much is he gonna go for?
Yeah, I even heard them talking about Antonio Silva the other day as well. Like he's at
He's
he's at Benfica 19. It's just like, oh man, I appreciate he's talented, but like we want
not ready.
ready-made guys.
Exactly.
Well, on that, okay, on that, are we all pretty much agreed that this season's a write-off?
Well, it's been a write-off.
Right, because realistically, the key for us really is going to be the financial rollover at the end of the year, isn't it? In terms of we get the 3 years. Now, can I ask you a question, right? And I want to ask you both this, right? Well, because we sit there and talk about, players week in, week out, the performances. I want to talk about something a little bit different. Is there enough, including the loanees, by the way, is there enough at Chelsea that when people like Detro Fofana and them not come back, right? If we get another manager in that's a bit more tactically astute, because we all know Poch is not tactically astute. So,
Jesus, the subs.
Yeah. We all know Poch is not tactically astute. So, right. I'm not going to. It was funny once, but you can't do it twice because you'll just ruin it. See, I just lost the viewer. See, that's how bad it is. I shouldn't have done it twice. No, I'm joking. But yeah, is there enough with the players that are there and the players that are coming back? If we actually used all of the 1 billion we spent on players that we get the piss taken out of us for, because many people say we've spent 1 billion, but it's really like 900 million because at least two of the players we bought went out on loan. Well, we tried to get them out on loan. One went Forest, came back. We tried to send him to Germany. That didn't quite work. Like it was Andres Santos, obviously I'm talking about. Detro Fofana. Who else did we buy last year that went out on loan? Who have I missed?
Angelo.
Obviously Casady went out on loan, came back. What a mistake he made, by the way, yesterday.
Him and Barry Chile.
You know what I mean? Like, oh dear.
First one was like on the pitch. It made no. He came on for was it Jackson or was it Cucurella?
What, yesterday?
Yeah, because I know it was a substitution for Cucurella to come off. Jackson.
I think it was Jackson. Actually, because he was a late sub, wasn't he? He was only on for like 10. He was only on for like 10 minutes, and he still managed to screw up.
They both, yeah. It was like literally the first 60 seconds when they came on. This would happen. But it was, Jackson and Cucurella out for Cassidy and Benoit.
How true are the rumors for Ramsdale to Chelsea? Not true at all.
I think there's a bigger chance of Sanchez going to Arsenal.
Poch is astute, stupid. Excuse me. Yeah, fair enough. Big up Chelsea perspective. Big up CP. Hope you're doing well, bro. Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, in you two's opinion, or I'll ask Latimus this as well, like, is there enough for a better manager to get more out of this? Because I know Latimus is quite adamant that he feels more can be squeezed out of what we've got. Right, because he's always said, like, he's never agreed. He's always been very, very consistent as Latimus. He's never really agreed with Poch. None of us have really agreed with Poch's tactics, his substitutions. But sometimes what he does is odd and strange. So, let me ask you guys this. Is there enough at Chelsea with a better manager to do more? Adamir, big up, brother. Hope you're doing well.
Yes.
Pain Lat Bean, big up, Adamir. Hope you're good.
Yes, there is. There's definitely enough for us to be doing a lot more than.
Go on, explain that. Why?
Because we shouldn't be 10th. I think we might be 9th now, actually, because
we're 9th.
But still, we shouldn't be 9th, 10th, 11th in the league table. We shouldn't be.
But explain why we shouldn't.
Because our squad is not this bad. Our squad is, when you look at what everyone's predictions was before the season started, whether you be Chelsea fan or you be rivals or your pundit, no one said we'd be mid-table again. And if anyone did say that, they said it for banter. No one gave actual reasons why we'd be mid-table. Everyone was saying, a lot of people were saying we'd be in the top 4 race. But, I said we'd be in the top 4 race, but probably finish around like 6, 7, 8. And when I said 8, a lot of Chelsea fans were attacking me and saying, how can you say that? Our squad is brilliant, we can go for top 4. There are some people who are saying we are dark horses for the league because we play 1 game a week. How can people be so confident about how good Chelsea about our squad, and all of a sudden flip flop and say the squad is terrible? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I think big part of this is the manager. Now, are there certain players who we can upgrade on? I agree. There are certain players that we can upgrade on, or they themselves can improve because they're young. But it's everything stems from the manager, right? A club's identity or a team's identity is from the manager. We look at Ange, he's been here as long as Poch has been here. And you look at the way Spurs play, it stems from him. Look at Villa.
Yeah, but
the way they
we're
play.
I hear what you're saying, but we already know Poch is not part of the solution. He's part of the problem. So, and I'm not being funny. I've said this before. I never wanted to go in the first place. Out of everyone we could have had.
We need solution.
Well, the thing is, this is what I want to. This is what I'm talking about. I want to delve into it because I'm not being funny. I think the season's a write-off. If even if we finish 10th, 11th, 12th, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Because, you know, what I
Yeah.
mean? Really, at this point, unless we make top 4, which is not going to happen, what difference does it make?
I know, but like again, you say he's part of the problem but not the solution. But what do you mean by that? The squad would be a lot better with a different manager, with a better.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But the thing is, like, this is what I'm talking about because it's not often I sit here and ramble on about tactics, right? But because I'm not a professional, I don't have a coaching, but I've been around and learned from people that do have like coaching badges up the arse. But I've never, so I can only say this as an observer. One thing I didn't like when I was watching that Sheffield United game was, for me, a key thing to keeping a team settled is everyone knows their jobs, everyone knows their fixed place, everyone knows what they've got to do, everyone knows how they've got to do it. So at times they looked like they were playing in a 4 at the back. At times they looked like they were playing as a 3. And it was just confusing because, and one thing about, no matter how many times he changed the formations, Cancelo was always isolated at the pivot at the pivot in the midfield. So what I don't understand, how can you change shape so much and still be exactly the same? It's just, did anyone else feel that when they were watching that on Sunday?
It kind of makes me think that you know, people praise Poch for getting players into shape with his training methods. Like, that's fine. I think the players are athletic enough, but can they be tactically sound, or are you just don't know what you're doing in that department? Because this guy, I don't know what he came with. Like, for when there was no structure, cohesion, and also like in the back especially. But what was with the player selections? When did we play Gallagher on a wings ever? Why was it the gamble for not to do it? You could have built up a 2-game winning streak. This should have been, but you know, I can't say should. Nothing's guaranteed. A 3-game winning streak. Because I mean, after what we did to United, it's like, well, okay, then yeah, like we should have beat Burnley. We beat United.
Don't knock it. We're on a 4-game unbeaten run, bro.
I think
that's the longest we've gone unbeaten this season.
And I think in our last league loss, what was it?
Liverpool, no?
Either that or Wolves. I think Liverpool was Carabao Cup final.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's there, but it's just because we collapse, we capitulate in the defense. We try to hold off and hold on to that lead, but we can't. Bro, how does Casady not go for that? And also, why was he even on the pitch?
Well, we talk about structure a lot. What? Margin Boo, AFC always big up, says if we beat Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea, we will win the Premier League title this year. I think you got more games than that, but I think you need to win all your remaining games, to be honest.
No, but he's assuming he'll win the remaining games as well.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
The thing is,
Like-
they got to play Man United twice or once. No, they got to play them once, haven't they? Because they
yeah.
beat the Emirates.
And the
Yeah,
other Spurs, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, going back to it. So, right, I ask you both again, like, just to quickly chip in back to what we were talking about. You know what I mean? Like, who has a future at Chelsea and who doesn't?
Besides Palmer and Gusto,
Yeah, basically. That's how it's looking at the minute. Because I'm not being funny, right? We'll start with the injury prones, right?
big up
Oh,
Firmino.
big up Jaminho, brother. I hope you're doing well. Okay. Obviously, we'll start with the injury prone guys. Wesley Fofana, Lavia, obviously Reece James, Ben Chilwell, Nkuku. We'll start with those five. Have I missed anyone who's always injured practically the whole season? Because even Ben Chilwell's gone back to that list. What a surprise.
Well, Silva doesn't get injured, but when he does get injured, it's like for a senseless Spurs injury. I think that's it. Yeah, I think those were most frequent hospital stays.
Yeah, I know. Our medical room support, as we call them. Look, out of those five, would you want to keep any of them? Personally, maybe Lavia and Nkuku. The rest can piss off. I don't like Chilwell. Reece James is never fit anyway.
Fofana.
Fofana. 80. Bro, I never thought. Bro, I've never thought I'd look at the Maguire deal to Man United and think, you know what? Compared to what we got with Fofana, like, that was a shrewd bit of business. At least he plays. He may be crap, but he plays. Yeah, Lavia been injured the whole season despite costing 60 million. What a joke! And yeah, and every time he gets injured, it's a different injury. What's going on? That's very true, Jaminho. Nkuku. All right, we'll go through them one at a time, right? We'll go through them one at a time, right? Prime, Wesley Fofana, throw or keep?
I don't. I want him in the first place. Like, I'm sick of Chelsea buying injury players so we can get rid. To be fair.
All right, cool. What about you, JPT?
If we can get, Jesus, if we were to sell him, how much would we get for him? 40?
Well, considering he's been injured for the last 2 years.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Literally, the last 2 years, he's been injured. So his value is going to go on. If we could get 30 for him, I'd be surprised.
And the thing I want, like, as much we bought him knowing that he was an injury-prone player. Even players who weren't injury-prone have come and got a curse. Lavia, a big example. And also, too, the only one I wouldn't criticize too much about being injury-prone is Nkuku, because his last two injuries, like the preseason injury and then the World Cup injury, were really bad. But now it just seems like he's softer, or at least we're forcing him to come back too early and then, be prone to a bad knock, which turns into another, like, 1 or 2 out.
Just on this question, because he says about Palmer this season, where we that's true. But the thing is, right, he's been our best player, but the thing is, he's not been the only player that's done well. Jackson, okay, he misses a load of chances, but Jackson, considering his age and the fact it's his first season in Chelsea, he's got 11 goals, 12 goals
in his first year as an inverted striker.
Well, yeah, at Chelsea. So far, hasn't he got 11 goals in all comps, right?
I believe so.
About that, something like that. So I'm not being funny. Madueke is someone that might have started more games if Palmer weren't there, and he has his days as well where he looks the real. Because Man United, for example, we brought that up earlier. Madueke flipped that game because without him, we wouldn't. That's very hard because I know you're saying it as a mockery, but realistically, when you deep into it, Palmer's been good, but how would you guys have done if you didn't have Saka, for example? Because me and JPT were talking about this earlier, about how would Arsenal be doing without Saka? You know what I mean? He's been your best winger. He's been our best attacking midfielder / but you know what I mean? Unfortunately, he doesn't have a group of players around him that are that good, unfortunately. But the thing is, it was always going to be a building process. We knew that from last year. So from the players we bought. So where we're in at the league is kind of expected. We've got a couple of new faces in there. And wow, I didn't realize that. But yeah, but on what AFC always said, right? Other than Palmer, who's been standouts? Because we've had Gusto, we've had obviously at times Jackson has stood out. Who else has been a standout?
It's hard to have standouts in a team that has not been trained properly and isn't cohesive.
It's
Well,
not.
But it's clear there is talent because we've seen glimpses. We've seen you just mentioned Madueke. We've seen glimpses from him, but again, he hasn't played consistently. We've seen glimpses from Mudryk, but he hasn't really been allowed to play consistently when he's been on a better form. We've seen glimpses from Jackson. Let's see what he can develop into. We see how good Palmer is, but eventually he will break down if he's having to consistently carry it. We've seen glimpses at times from
I'm gonna come back to that.
Sassy. He's been in and out, I guess, of form, but again, in a proper structure, he looks good. But he shows the seasons, but he spent the majority of the season injured, and we know how good he can be under a proper structure. Gusto has been good this season, so like there are very good parts of the squad. I keep telling people, better manager, and with us having,
what's wrong with you, man?
You will see. What? You'll see just how good this squad is. I don't agree with people that say like all of a sudden our players are rubbish. They're not all rubbish because you guys wanted these players when we signed them in the first place, so they can't all be rubbish now.
Look, one thing, okay, let's call a spade. Right, okay, even fans, even the Bravo fans will say, even though they're above us in the league, at one time or another, we put all of them in a sticky, whether it be Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, whatever. You know what I mean? At times we've, because Hanno said something very interesting the other day, right, when we were watching that shit show against Sheffield United. Someone asked him in on the watch along, what level do Chelsea play at? And he said the funniest thing he does, we play at varying levels. We seem to match the crapness of the other team. Right now, what I think is ringing true about that is even when we play a bigger team, we can always seem to find a way to draw. Whether it's from winning positions, losing positions, we'll always come back to a draw. Like Man City 4-4, you know, Man United luckily 4-3. Tottenham, even though the score doesn't quite reflect it, 4-1. Even though they effectively like detonated and blew themselves up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, is that weird? Have we played at high levels one moment and then at low levels next? Like, give me you guys' take on it. What is the level of this team? Oh, big up my best 05. Big up, guys. Lavia was a board signing, not a Poch signing. Yeah, we fully agree with that one. Poch didn't want Lavia. He wanted either Chiesa or Tyler Adams for a central defensive midfielder position. Maybe true, bro, but like Latimus would point out, he was offered other players. You know, like it can be cut both ways. Gabriel and Saliba. Oh, what?
I think we were asking questions like who is like there's. I think he is answering that for standout player, which I'm not going to put Gallagher as a standout player.
We weren't linked with Kessie last summer.
Mm-hmm. And Tyler Adams was coming off injury, so we're getting another injury-prone player.
Yeah, the thing is, Saka isn't a one-man army. We've actually got some good players around him. Palmer is literally the definition of a one-man around him. Everyone's been shambolic. Well, not everyone, because we've just mentioned Gusto. With Jackson.
No, even if everyone around Palmer is shambolic, why are we shambolic? We're not being coached properly, right?
We're too young. This is a team that
there's no. The thing is, the team's too inexperienced
and no leadership
right,
around them.
Right. Okay.
Right. A couple of years ago, Arsenal fans were saying Saka was dragging them.
Wait. Look. Let me put things into context, right? The average age of the squad is the youngest in the Premier League of 23.4 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Second in Europe. So it's not just right. You name me we were always a team that was known for having an older squad, not a younger one. So like talk about introvert to extrovert. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So that's the thing, because they back in the day when we played badly at Chelsea, you might have said they looked too slow because they were too old. Now they look too slow because they don't know what they're doing. Silva was all right at the start. I think Thiago Silva is one of those players that he's been relied on too much, and because he's been relied on too much, hang on, right? Okay, just to answer that, you do realize that in terms of GA, Palmer has more, right? And JPT has actually what was it? What was he? What was the stats?
Wolfie, just ignore the Saka stuff and just
No.
continue.
It's not a matter of ignoring or like. I'm not making a point. I'm just like having a conversation, and I want to hear what everyone's got to say. Because one thing about it is right. If Palmer, granted, how would Palmer do in the Arsenal team? How about let me chuck that out there? And how would Saka do in the Chelsea team?
Yeah, but like but Saka has nothing to do with the discussion we were having about like Chelsea and stuff.
Yeah, no.
So it's just
I'm answering the comment. That's all.
No, I know, but it's just Arsenal fans being Arsenal fans and always talking Saka. Like it doesn't matter.
No, AFC has always been cool with me, bro.
Yeah. I wanted to just know something that for Crane said where he says, "Give me Palmer." If Arsenal were to take Palmer, where does he go play and replace Odegaard, or are you shifting him in Saka's spot? That's
just from the Arsenal thing, I could put Saka on the left and Palmer on the right, or Palmer on the left. Because I'm not being funny, he uses the outside of his foot anyway, and he likes to cut in and shoot. So why not? But anyway, Robert Sanchez has been standout. The terrible. I think we agree on that one.
Oh man, terrible. Wasted 25 million.
Axel disaster. Concede. No, at times Conceido. Actually, I disagree with Conceido. At times he stood out, but unfortunately, because he's always isolated by himself,
which you can't do.
Which you can't do, particularly in most of the. That's the one problem Chelsea have a lot of the time. We're outnumbered in midfield. And that's one thing that Poch doesn't seem to want to cure, even though we can all see it. Badiashile, give him more time. He's just come back from injury. Same thing could be said about Reece James as well, Ben Chilwell. Sol Jorginho for 10 mil just to spend 300 million. His replacements are hardly as good as him. Well, it depends, because I'm not being funny. Jorginho, he done okay, but again, we point out he's 8 years older than everybody else we're talking about, or at least 6. So you're going from an experienced player to a young player, so you can't. It's chalk and cheese. We've already said about introverts to extroverts about how the things are completely flipped around. That point's irrelevant. Luca, yes. You okay? Dimes, I was answering the players standout Chelsea and Arsenal players. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I did ask what you meant. I wasn't. Like, give me Palmer. Okay. Whatever you want to do in your own personal life about giving yourself Palm. None of our business. But right. Going back to it. So, Nkunku was the one Jaminho mentioned as well. I started his comment a minute ago. So, where do we stand on Nkunku?
Yeah, if he can stay healthy, he can make a difference for the squad, because we need Jackson to play at left wing. I think trying to force him to play as a number 9 is just not working as well. He's not doing bad, as you mentioned, but I'd rather have him as a left winger. Whatever gets Sterling now off, like out of Chelsea as well too, so that helps. Because if it could be a healthy like Nkunku and then Jackson and Palmer on the wings, or even Noni and then at the 10 Palmer, it's not bad.
Well, what about Palmer on the right? Somewhat, maybe Jackson on the left. Have Nkunku as the 10, and then we sign a striker in front of them.
Which is another thing that is a possibility. But one, what striker would you want, and how much is that going to cost Chelsea?
Garbagino has turned up in a few important games. It reminds me of a great half-season Xhaka had. Okay, obviously he's not a big fan. He's obviously not a big Jorginho fan, obviously. He can do a job. That's the one thing about Georgie. He can do a job.
If he has the right partner with him.
Jorginho's doing good for Arsenal, but he's been no different than how he was for Chelsea.
He just needs the right partner with him. I mean, who's he partnering up with right now? Rice?
Look, I'll tell you Jorginho in summary. When he's got space, he's great. When he hasn't, he's shit. Simple as that.
Not the best defensive qualities neither.
Yeah, well, no, exactly. Because when you rush him, like with the Spurs game, you rush him, you can catch him on the ball, and then you're left completely helpless. as Arsenal fans found out. What you think? Let's see, you guys have forgotten about that, right? He's got a mistake in him. He's got, excuse me, I've changed my tea. He has got a mistake in him, Jorginho. Trust me. Right. So Nkunku, Lavia. We move on because we've obviously spoken about Fofana and Nkunku. Now Lavia, where do we stand on him?
Just he has to be a squad player for a season. Let him, one, get healthy, and two, let him get more experience. Let him develop his game a little bit more. Because are you really going to try to rush him? Who is he going to be partnered up with in the midfield? It's going to be him, Enzo, and Caicedo, because that's going to be a little too defensive. But or is it going to be him, Caicedo, or him, Enzo, and Palmer at the 10?
Don't know. How would you like it?
So he'd be competing for a spot for like it would be Caicedo, right?
I think so. It depends if it's a 3 in the midfield or a 2, because it's quite often a 2. I guess nowadays it's quite often a 2.
Yeah, exactly. So I think right now just let Moises and Enzo be in the double pivot, and then let Palmer be at the 10. Because if not, we're still gonna be Gallagher at the 10. And Nkunku, if he can stay healthy, that would be my preferred 10. Or or they're gonna do what I don't like Enzo doing, which just I'd rather him play deeper. But if we try to play Lavia, Fernandez, Caicedo midfields, and they put Enzo at the 10, I don't think it's gonna work out. Because people were hyping up that midfield 3. I was like, won't work.
How about you, Latimus? What are you feeling about Lavia?
I wasn't impressed. Well, not impressed. I think he should have stayed at Southampton like another season or 2. I don't think he was worth the hype or people buying him. But like, he has got talent in him. I think him being able to develop, certainly he can still fit. Like him being able to develop and being coached properly, like he will become a top defensive midfielder. And he's the only real defensive midfielder we have in the squad. Caicedo isn't really a sitter like that. He's more of a player that will like roll and win the ball.
Yeah. He patrols the midfield. That's his job. He's like a sweeper for the midfield.
I don't think we necessarily need to bring in any. I don't think we need to bring in any midfield reinforcements in the summer. I think with Caicedo, Enzo,
Lavia, Gallagher, Palmer,
Leslie.
Whether Connor stays or goes, I think it's irrelevant. Like, Ugochukwu, maybe you send him out on loan, and if you do bring in a midfielder, bring in an old head, like someone who is even in 32 or something, 31.
Yeah, someone experienced. We don't want another 19-year-old.
He doesn't necessarily have to play, but like he comes in. Like Jorginho probably would have suited that role. He's there, experienced, have the young guys, can come into a few games if needs be. That's kind of like what I would want from a midfielder, like a Brozovic, but he's on Saudi and he probably didn't come back to it.
All right. So we would all 3 of us agree that maybe give Lavia a bit more time, another season or 2, at least. We've got 8-year contracts. We ain't got to worry about it. So, you know, we'll give him 4 years. Then we'll think about selling you, and we still got like time to sell. Well, ain't that a job? We ain't got to worry about their contract running out, have we? Anyway. Hey, a question for Latimus. If you woke up tomorrow as a Chelsea manager, what are you changing?
What, the manager?
No, if you were the manager yourself, what would you change?
Yeah, about a Chelsea manager.
Return of the Mac every time he walked into
a lot. I wouldn't have them be doing intensity training a day before a game. I would change the formation. I would play I would play 4-3-3.
Can you sit forward a bit? Because the way that potch thing is enshrouding your head at times, it looks. Sorry, it's just you look like Thomas the Tank Engine when it shrinks.
I'd play a 4-3-3.
Sorry.
Well, and Kuku's still out injured. I'd play a 4-3-3. I would play. I'd play Enzo as like a sitting, not a DM, but like as a deep line playmaker, and have Gallagher and Caicedo be like 2-8s, like a shuttler. Kind of how Liverpool used their midfield with Fabinho, Henderson, and Ronaldo, just hard-working midfielders. And my 3 maybe depends on who was on form, to be fair. But my front 3 would consist of Palmer, Jackson, and like one of Madueke, Sterling, or Nida.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's that hard to get things out of the Chelsea squad. Because they're not part of why we are in this position in the league.
Hang on. Rosie, I appreciate what you said about who would you bring in, but the subject was about who's there that could make a difference with what's there.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about.
Part of why we are this, because we can all look at how Chelsea is being coached and being managed by Poch. Let's all be honest. Without the moments of individual, like just the Sheffield game, without the moments of individual brilliance from Madueke and the corner, we don't get the point. We arguably lose that game. Without the moments of individual brilliance against Man United, we don't win that game. Without the moments of individual brilliance against Burnley, we don't get a point from that game.
It's a group of individuals. It's a group of individuals. It's not a team.
I would definitely have our defense a lot more secured defensively. I think actually being able to set us out defensively and us being able to defend.
I know you would be like me in the sense of you'd make sure someone would stay with Caicedo as well.
Well, I would have a 3 in midfield, so they would all be like.
Gallagher would be very tight with him.
Yeah, I don't think it's like I understand injuries in certain points, but our squad has been big enough where no one injury should have cost us this bad. It's not as if we were a few years ago where if Reece James and Chilwell are injured, all of a sudden we can't create. Like we've got enough depth where Kuku being out injured should not be that much of a miss. It's just excuses after excuses. I would actually start coaching instead of making up excuses after every game.
Well, this is the thing on the coaching front.
Talk to our players at half time instead of just letting them go into the second half without any sort of worry in the world. But that's just the basic stuff. I'd be a better manager than Poch. Just not.
We'll answer that question. And what's your best defense with all players fit?
When everyone's fit.
Big up Rosie and DJ Crane for the questions.
Oh, when everyone's fit.
I know. When everyone's fit. Everyone.
When everyone's fit, I'd go back 3.
Yeah.
My back 3 would consist of. My back 3 would consist of.
Levi?
My back 3 consists of Reece James, Badiashile in the center, and Colwell on the left. The 3. And then my wing backs would be Gusto and Cucurella.
Really? You'd put Cucurella in the starting lineup? Why?
Because he's better than Chilwell.
What, defensively?
Defensively and going forward, he's better.
And you would have coverage from Levi at that point too. So, because one of the Cucurella he gets wrong is that his position is always shit. He's always like way out of position, and it leaves the whole left side open. And
true, I think that's what happens to a lot of our players. I think if Cucurella is coached properly, you can get better out of him. And again, the question is, if I was manager right now, there's only a month or so left of the season. By the time the season ends and I can go into the summer, I would get an upgrade at left back.
Yes, 100%.
It's only of right now. yeah, that would help.
We're all Chilwell out, by the way. Just to let you know that.
Yeah.
We're all Ben Chilwell out.
Again,
Can't stand
you say use Correa. I've got a left back in Matson, but he's in Germany. So
yeah, true. That's true. That's someone else. I did say everyone on the books.
Why I'm playing a back three is because I want Reece James in this 11, but I don't want him to be playing as a fullback. So I'd rather have James play in a back three.
Swag. I ain't heard that word in ages. That was swag.
Where if we're playing teams like lower league sides, Reece can push up in the midfield with his ball playing ability. But if we're playing like like an Arsenal or something or a Man United, he can. If we're playing the top sides, then Reece in that back three, he can man mark and Martinelli, or he can man mark a Rashford or whatever, So that's why I would play the three, and it gives more license for Gusto and the left wing back to really bomb forward and make them, hold the flanks. That's just, I think.
All right, fair enough. How about you, JPT?
Also go the back three, but maybe they're like a 3-4-3 or 3-4-1-2. I just want to stack the midfield as much as possible. But for the three center backs, I would do Silva, Levi on the left, and then Reece James as right center back would be good. Because Gusto can be a right wing back. Correa be a left wing back. He'll have coverage from Colwell. And this is also we won't have to worry about Caicedo being left alone in the midfield, so this would definitely help out. And so I want to say Lavia, but again, he, like I said, if you're just manager and everyone's fit, or is it if you were just manager?
No, if everyone
fit.
I want to say Lavia, but I don't know if we're going to expect the same Southampton Lavia with the young squad he has around him. Because I don't even think they were that young yet in Southampton. And then Palmer on the right, Jackson on the left, and Cuckoo going forward. Yeah, we just got tied up with defense because we have no problem scoring, which is back then that was a big issue for us, and we used to be praised for our team. We can't hold on to a lead at all.
Oh, it's funny how it swapped around. That's why I said introvert to extra. It's funny how everything is just reversed.
I did the rest of my team. Yeah.
Oh shit, you didn't. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I thought she just meant the defense. Yeah, the midfield.
No, that was the question that was asked, but JP's gone deeper into it because he said the midfield. So he might. Yes, hang on.
Caicedo ends on midfield. Again, maybe. Yeah, I mean, depending on opposition, to be fair, but like Caicedo ends on midfield. And my front three would be Palmer, Jackson, and Nkuku, but like it wouldn't be Jackson per se as a striker. It would be, it depends. Like it could be Jackson up top and Palmer and Nkuku as 2 10s. It could be Nkuku as a false 9 and Jackson as an inside forward on the left coming in. Like
they can rotate. They can rotate.
Yeah.
It could be like the 3 can be wherever.
Yeah, and in certain games like Reece in the 3, he's allowed to push into midfield if we've got that space for him to, like, remember under Conte in, was it 17-18? Remember when we bought Morata and for like 7 games he would score from that Aspie cross?
The headers.
That's kind of like what I would want Reece James to do, where he can come in like in the half space a bit and then just
provide proper width, because we don't do proper width anymore. I don't know why we don't. I said that the other day. We don't cross. Why don't we cross anymore?
That's something we've missed. Is how many goals more would we have just by having that threat of Reece James putting in a crossing?
It massive, because that's one thing I hate about Poch football. Crosses seem to have, because that's, I think Latimus has actually will back me up on this one. When we had like guys like Broja, we never played to their strengths, not once.
It's
Always
like I
along
would
the ground.
prefer games where Poch Broha would start. We wouldn't put any crosses in. Broha would look bad. He takes Broha off. He puts on Jackson, and all of a sudden we're putting crosses in the box. And I'm like, why? Points. Yeah, like that's kind of like what I would do, and I think that kind of gets the best out of the team in terms of our strengths and weaknesses.
JBT. Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying like it's not like it's not that hard. We've got. I keep saying this. Our squad, and I look at Villa, I look at United, I look at Spurs. They should not be above us. We should be in the conversation for the top 4, top 6 race.
That's
If I
just
only squad for
That's
squad.
Chelsea passion. That's Chelsea passion right there.
I don't think it is Chelsea passion. Honestly, their squad is not better than us, not by this much.
Well, the thing is, half of us, for at least a third, most of the season, a third of our squad's never been fit. We've just mentioned the 5 biggest culprits in Chilwell, Reece James, Nkunku, Lavia, and obviously Mr. Glass himself, Wesley Fofana. But
true, but it's also how you manage that, because when I look at Spurs, they've got, aside from Son and Kulu, the rest of their forwards are shit. Maddison has been injured for the majority of the season, and for 2 months, Romero and Van de Ven were out injured, so they were playing fullbacks at centre back. And Andrew still managed to have them in the top 4 race. Man United are shit, but yet they can still make top 4.
well, like you said, at least they have experience in certain players. Well, we don't. Son's experienced.
We have a manager that is experienced that should be coaching. And
I get that. That's why the conversation was based off what we would do, and Poch was removed from the equation. I do understand what you mean, but I want to let JPT finish his team. So go on, JPT.
I thought I gave my full 11 already.
No, you got to the midfield and like.
Then yeah, the midfield, yeah, like it's either gonna be Enzo with either Caicedo or Lavia. I don't know if Lavia will be good under young players around him, but and then the front 3, like Prime said, could be Nkunku up top, Jackson on the left, Palmer on the right, but it could be a free flowing like front 3. It could any player could play well in any spot. You can see Nkunku drop down and be like a false 9. You see Jackson go up in his spot instead. Nkunku can play on the left. Palmer can play inside. The front 3 is not really where we're lacking at. It's just defensive qualities. We suck. We can't stay focused, and it comes from that. And this is why I worry. Like, it's fine to go for young players in attack, but when defense, you need to have
know-how,
disciplined, have the craft perfected, in the mentality. Because I think some of the best captains come from being like center back or fullback.
Tony Adams,
They were Roberto Carlos was also one, I think, at the time. Terry Cahill.
Well, Silva.
Cannavaro was also deep.
Nesta. Maldini. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Oh, I'm forgetting a bad man. I'm forgetting someone.
Was it Alves? Danny Alves? Captain?
No, forget him, bro. He wasn't a great defender. He was just an extra right winger.
No, but I'm saying, was he a captain as well, though?
I think he was at times, but he wasn't
like the main captain, like Silva was. But it's what I'm saying. Like, you can't try to.
Dunga. That's what I was thinking of. Dunga. Sorry, Dunga was Brazil's captain. Yeah, Cafu, but he wasn't a centre back.
No, but I'm saying defensive players. Like I'm saying,
defensive.
You can't really experiment and wait for players to develop. They have to be there and ready. If they're young and they're in the starting 11, it's because they're disciplined enough and they take it, seriously. You can be more free. You can be more mature up top and on the forwards.
Well, can I just say sorry? Can I just quickly give my 11?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's obviously goalkeeper, 5 in mid, 5 in defense, 2 in midfield. Actually, no. Yeah, similar to what Conte's system. I'd have Nkunku as a striker, Palmer as the 10, with Wiki right wing, Sterling left. I'd have Enzo and Cancelo as the base players holding it. So I don't know actually. I'm taught because that's the thing. Well, we've argued many times that our system sorts of back. Does it really? Is it best? Is our squad still best suited for a back 5 or a 4?
Back 5. Or back, back. Just because we need to like really pack the midfield.
Because one thing about it, that's whenever we play with a 5, would you not agree that kills our midfield?
No, I think people only said it for our midfield because we didn't have enough midfielders. Kante was injury prone, Kovacic was injury prone, which left Jorginho having to be overused.
Because one thing, because you know what, I'll go a 4 at the back. Actually, I'll go a 4 at the back. I don't trust Wesley Fofana; he's never fit, so I'll forget him. I'm writing him out of my squad completely. Forget him. I'd probably have I'll probably have to agree with Pradman that Cucurella left back, probably Reece James right back, but I'd have Trevor Chalobah maybe with Silva if everyone's fit now. You know what I mean? Like, because obviously Thiago Silva's miles better than any defender we've got. By even in his worst day, he's better than guys like Diassi. So, you know what I mean? Like, oh, hello. Use
He gives a good night.
Night. Oh, good night, mate. Take care. Stay safe. Use our G.
Would you have right back?
Reece James. That's fit.
Would you do Reece James right, and then would you put Gusto as left back, or no?
You know what? Actually, no. Let me change. I'll go with a 5 at the back. And I'll stick with this. Reece James right back. Trevor Chalobah right centre back. Thiago Silva the centre back. Levin Colwell the left centre back. And I'll actually trust Ben Glass Chilwell if he's fit because he's actually good going forward at times. And Levy Colwell can cover the space that he vacates.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing about Chilwell that I hate. He leaves so much space behind him. Put Enzo and Cancelo in the midfield as the 2. So they can tuck in when they need to. So it becomes almost like a 6 at the back at times or 7 at the back, when they tuck in. Well, it depends how you play, because Palmer can tuck in as well if you play him as right. Yeah, so Enzo and Cancelo right back as the right winger. I'd put Palmer because he can drift. I'd play Sterling on the left and then Cuckoo in the middle, but he can drop deeper as well to collect the ball and become a 10 and feed the wingers if he needs to and arrive at them. Because one thing about Nkuku, who was good for Leipzig, and I remember when he played Rangers, was it Rangers? Because he was good at arriving from deep. Because that's the thing is, Nkuku's not a bad finisher. But he's one of those guys where if he was to be more used as an attacking midfielder more than a striker, we might get better results out of him. Because he was always known for being like Red Bull or RB Leipzig. He was one of those guys that he'll arrive late.
He's always a second striker.
Yeah, like a second striker. So I do think with the wingers we've got, we can get more out of him than what we did or have if he stays fit. And I still can't believe him and Lavia have not started a match. That's just...
They can't stay healthy.
They can't. But anyway, I think that's a good place to leave it, lads. Because it's just been one of those... We've just... I don't want to talk that... Oh, does anyone actually have any thoughts on the Sheffield United game other than bunch of crap?
I'll just get it together, man. I can't justify those substitutions.
Oh, don't. Anonymous? Notorious?
Yep.
Oh my days.
That's awesome. You trust killing that right back though? Come on.
Bro, hang on, wait. Just give me Wheeze. Wheeze would deal with the rest of them. And he'd be smiling. When that guy had a fight with Broly, he was taking the piss. Oh, there you go. Oh my. You know what I mean? He's just... I like Wheeze's character. He comes across as a bit camp, but he's just so sarcastic.
I would have Majin Buu in goal, man.
No, he played. I swear, Nkuku played against Rangers. I scored against you, didn't he? If I remember correctly, he did an outside of the right foot, and it went into the corner. If I remember correctly, I can't remember. I think it was when you guys. Was it when you beat them 3-1 when you went to the cup final, when Europa League final, a couple of years back, when they went on that mad run. Anyway, JPT, do you want to big up your channel?
Yeah, keeping it real Chelsea on Instagram as well. Is the Everton game this weekend? This Saturday?
Yes.
Sunday?
I think it's Saturday.
Okay, it's Saturday. I'll see if I can do a watch along for that because I got to go back home for.
Let me check my secretary. Yes, it's Sat.
Nice.
And no, it's Monday. Yeah, it's Monday.
Well, I got to work at that time, then, unless I call in sick. But all right.
Yeah, no watch along for me then. Oops.
Hopefully.
We scored again.
We don't
okay, thank you, Rangers. Thank you, Rangers fan.
Experiment. Just that you got the Rangers fan. Also, too, as well, subscribe to Rosie's channel. Rangers fan makes good content. But yeah, Poch, it's you just can't experiment no more. I don't know what he was thinking going to the Sheffield game. And we need to get to where we need to be, which is right now we could easily be 7, almost tied for 6, and we'll see where that will end up with. But it all depends on this guy. He's gonna be gone by the summer anyway, so just try to survive.
Poch in. No, I'm joking.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'm joking, bro. You have to try and let it on. JPD, did you see the eclipse?
I saw it kind of like it got darker, and then and I just like, okay, well, it's gonna get lighter again.
Yeah, he saw it in the sense of who put the fucking lights up, but you didn't see it. Okay, Rosie, what are your thoughts on the Old Firm derby? Why did you have to ask her that, Rosie? We ain't got time to sit you like. Where do I start? Jesus Christ! I said,
oh man.
I say big up to JPT, big up your socials. He's like, what do you think of this game?
I heard it was
why don't you do a video on your channel, Rosie? And ask Adam, you know what I mean? Like, what I know you're not right. Be brave when it comes to it's still your channel. You can do what you want with it. But where do I start? You're all pretty much exactly where I started with bloody. Is Anonymous in the chat? No, he's not, darling. Laugh out loud, says Dimes. Big up, bro. You're still around. Like, don't forget to sub to this guy as well, man. Passionate Man United fan. Passionate Man United fan.
Close to 2K. Close to 2K. He's just needs some more support. He's got the 2K in the bag.
Bro, I'm not being funny. My missus is at work. Well, no, sorry. I'm not sure if she's at work or sleeping right now. I'm not too sure. No, she should be at home. Sorry. Yeah, one or the other. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I need to find out what the missus is up to. That's why I need to split. I don't want to get crucified. So, Ladimus, you got any socials you want to big up?
Yeah, follow me, Ladimus Prime on Twitter.
There you go. Sweet and sweet. I'm not at work. So yeah, I know, baby girl. My brain's not working. I know you're at home. Sorry, my mistake. See, I'm in trouble now. Look what you lot have got me into. I'm in shit. I know. I'm sorry. I got confused. All right. I'm sorry. I've had loads of details spinning around my head. I'll talk to you about it in a second. Do you have socials, Rosie? No, Rosie doesn't. But she got a YouTube channel. Hang on. Have you got a link for Rosie's channel?
I got you.
I know. I follow her YouTube. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah.
Got it.
Just do it. Well, there you go. Just do a video. Rosie, you'll jump on it. Yeah. When's the next Bants and Wolfie show? Well, obviously, hopefully that'll be the Saturday because obviously, Bants hopefully he'll have Eid either tomorrow or Wednesday. So hopefully that'll be next weekend because obviously the guy's been fasting and there's been a lot of evening games. So big up my bro Bants. Obviously the Football Bants channel. Go and follow him. My absolute G. Yeah, that's my baby girl. Like, hey, don't mock what I talk about when I'm talking to my princess, right? Shut your mouth. Wash your mouth out with soap. I'm older than you as well. Big up. But yeah, Dimes, big up for asking about that, by the way. Big up. Yeah, hopefully this weekend coming. Anyway, from JPT, the Notorious, and myself, we are